Hey everyone, it's Steven at Gutter Pop Comics in Buffalo, New York, 1421 Hertel Avenue. It is about 11 p.m. on Tuesday night, March 8th, 2022, the night before New Comic Book Day. So each week we do a little video where we go through the week's new releases to show off what we've got going on for our regulars and our mail order customers. We update our website, gutterpopcomics.com, about a week after we post this video. And so we do that so folks who support us each week by coming into the store or following us on social media get first dibs on anything that they see. Because after that, we put all of our new product, all of the new merchandise up on the website. So thousands of graphic novels and comic books on gutterpopcomics.com. But we want to give folks a chance at first dibs as opposed to competing with the whole dang internet. Would hate for, some bozo who's just typing in Kirby into google.com. I would rather get one of the folks who make a point to shop with us regularly to get it. So that's the fairest way we can think of to do it right now. It's not perfect, but that's the current system. So if you're looking for single issue comics, like the ones I'm showing here, currently the best way to see what we get in each week is by following us on Instagram or Facebook. And in our stories section, we will post photos of everything that we get in that week. And then you can ask us to hold a copy for you, just DM us. And we'll be happy to take care of that for you. But thanks so much. We'll start the flip through section of the video right now. Thanks so much, y'all. All right, for our genre trades and graphic novels, genre meaning like horror, fantasy, sci-fi, crime, people stabbing, people shooting. We've got Chained to the Grave by Andy Eschenbach, Brian Lovell, and Kate Sharon. I was really impressed with, I think Kate Sharon does all of the drawing and all the coloring, and I was really impressed with both of those for this. And so, like, the setting is like this very fun, like horror, ghost-driven thing, but it's got like this just a super colorful action adventure thing, and the colors really elevated, and it's just so cool. So I was very impressed with that. I don't know how well the colors show up on the camera. I mean, looking at my screen, they look a little more muted, but maybe the final version will look as good as like they do in front of my eyeballs. So yeah, no, really impressed with the drawing and the coloring on this one. This just looks like a just absurd, fun romp with some gross stuff in it. But yeah, really impressed with this one. This is a complete story, so you can buy this and get the whole story. So $18. Very impressed with that. Chained to the Grave. Next up, we've got this is a nice hardcover collection of Hound. This came out, I think, 6 years ago or something, 6 or 7 years ago. But this is a nice $50 hardcover. It's like a black and white, like Celtic, it's like an action fantasy comic with like monsters and spirits and stuff, but it's like this very violent comic. Red is the only, if you see red, something bad is going to happen or things are not good. But I think this is getting or has gotten a movie adaptation, so a perfect time for a nice kind of deluxe edition. But pretty great looking, and if you're into like just sparse black and white drawing or cool I don't want to say barbarian, but that kind of vibe, like that kind of like setting, then that's probably a good move. So Why the Last Man, second in this new compendium format. So this is $60 and gets you issues 32 through 60. So if you've ever wanted to read that series, those are cool new editions. Also getting this cool Omni Megabus edition. Customers keep asking me, like, what's the difference between a compendium or an omnibus or any of that stuff. And it's really just different publisher, like they just decide what words to use. But this is a really fun, absurd fight comic. It's just totally nuts, and just has a bunch of like really funny looking monster men, punching. And yeah, very, very absurd, very, very funny, and people really love this comic. So cool that it's available for only $40. Like, this is the whole shebang. Shout out Rob Schraub. Whole shebang. The shebang. So not a lot of manga this week, and so I just decided to throw this in here because Berserk is one of those Japanese comics that does cross over with folks who read action or fantasy or beautifully drawn, really graphic and horrible. I don't ever recommend it to customers. I think it's just better if somebody comes across it on their own. It's such a the creator passed away recently, and it's such an important comic that means a lot to a lot of people, but it's not for everybody. And there's it's just really graphic and awful. But it's a really it's a really important work. I'm glad that they're following through with these deluxe editions. So this is volume 10. No real. There's going to be this and one other Japanese comic or manga this week, and I just threw them into other sections. So this was older, but I think it got resolicited, or I'm not even really sure. But we got this in with our new releases this week, and so I thought I would just talk about it really quick. But this is like a tie-in for the band Electric Century, which features Sean Simon and Mikey Way from Waves from My Chemical Romance, and so. This came out a little while ago, but this is the first time maybe that we've had this this cheaper edition. I think it was originally like a deluxe. Like there's like a record and a book, a hardcover book, again, pretty cool cartooning, pretty cool color. Yeah, looks really nice and cool. It's just got like this frenetic, sketchiness to it, and it's just got like this cool just like flow and movement to it. So it looks really nuts, looks very psychedelic and cool. So but if anyone you know is a fan of that group or those people, might be worth checking out. So yeah, that's all of that. All right, for DIY, small press, self-published comics and graphic novels, we've got a new issue of King Cat by John Porcellino. So John has been self-publishing this comic since the 80s, and in addition to being one of the pioneers of self-published comics, he's also one of the pioneers of autobio, slice of life comics. And John has like a really beautiful knack for selecting moments from his life to share that really resonate with people. And just makes amazing comics and has been making them consistently for a really long time. This is issue 81. You can pick up any issue of King Cat and get something out of it, but often there's a collection from Drawn and Quarterly that is called A Perfect Example that I often give to customers or recommend to customers. So King Cat, John Porcellino, totally amazing work. Very happy to get it. We had a new issue of Love and Rockets in the shop last week by the Hernandez brothers, and so getting that and then a King Cat right after, man, a pretty cool, just 1-2 punch of great like legendary comics. So moving on, we've got this really cool little zine by Jen Woodall. Silver Sprocket in the San Francisco published this. This is the second printing, printed by Color Code. They were very cool to cut loose a couple copies, pretty limited, and we were only able to get a couple, but it's a beautiful illustration zine of like monsters and stuff. So big fans of Jen's work. We carry her very excellent magical beatdown comic that in the shop. Here's some of Jen's stuff you can follow. But yeah, thanks to them for letting us get copies. Very limited, very cool. Nice. So this was a surprise for me. I was I got to read about half of this before I got started on the video and loved it. I'm gonna try and read the rest of it while I guess this video is uploading. That's like gonna be my little treat. So I'm unfamiliar with this cartoonist, Genevieve LeBleu. Pardon me if that's not how you pronounce it. You probably just say it more confidently, like LeBleu, and then it's like not weird. But yeah, so I was really blown away by this, and at some point it made me think of Jesse Jacobs' Safari Honeymoon comic. And then when I was done reading about half of it, I saw that he had like a little pull quote on the back. So that was kind of neat that it just like manifested in my brain. Like I was like, I wonder if Jesse Jacobs has seen this or had any, whatever. And then, and it did. So, I mean, has nothing really, it's not tonally like, or it doesn't have any of the same ideas as Safari Honeymoon other than, I guess, the 9-panel grid. But it had like there's like all this like crazy overgrowth stuff in the, like in this alien plant stuff. And so, like really dark and cool and yeah, just bizarre. And I'm really looking forward to it. I love the drawing. It's just got like this great, like weird body horror thing. And man, so I guess I shouldn't flip too much, but the drawing actually, it gets going. It really starts to like go off the rails, and the drawing like really, oh geez, I just got hit with a pang of like, is that like, am I spoiling too much by flipping through this one? But I mean, it's like right on the cover that you're gonna get like a weird, plant monster person or whatever that she's gonna turn into that. So very cool. I wonder if seems like pretty accomplished cartooning. I wonder if that's. I wonder if I've read stuff by them before. But yeah, I'm struggling. The name didn't quite click for me. So, but yeah, really excited about that one. That just looks amazing. So I'm a big Ben Sears fan. I dropped the ball on this. We got this a couple weeks ago, and I guess it got filed away before I got a chance to look at it. But Ben Sears is looks like Ben signed some for us. That's great. Thank you, Ben. But Ben is a cartoonist based in Louisville, Kentucky. Mostly does like adventure comics that are kind of suitable for all ages. Like I definitely really enjoy them, especially like this crazy, just beautiful drawing. I know we have a bunch of his out of print Koyama stuff, and I think Fantagraphics has started to publish his work. So hopefully there'll be a collection of all of his amazing out-of-print stuff. But this is a self-published comic that he got. We also restocked his amazing Empanada comic. I guess I should stop flipping, but highly recommended. Really great, just like beautifully drawn adventure comics. He also makes really cool music under the name The Gleaming Corridor. So it's like chill, like kind of. It's not always chill, but just like cool, creative instrumental music. So check that out. I think his website's like freebensears.com, but if you just type in Ben Sears into Ask Jeeves or whatever. Yeah, but really amazing stuff. So we got the new Luca Oliveri comic in from Piao Press. Sadly, one of their final publications, I believe. I think there's maybe one or two more slated. I was a big fan of their Wrecked Hearts comic from like 2016. That was such a great comic, and this feels in that vein. They've done other stuff that I like a lot too, but this one feels like kind of tonally similar to one of my favorite comics of theirs. Also, just as I'm flipping through content warning, I think this one has some nudity or stuff like that. There we go, just on cue. Didn't give anyone enough time when I said content warning to do anything about that, but that's okay. I need to just put that at the top of these videos. Like, I don't know what's going to be in them. But yeah, really cool, like Japanese influence, like very Miyazaki influenced comics, but cool science fiction, fantasy stuff. So this is a big one. Beautiful production as always from the gang at Piao. I know Patrick is doing production for Random House Kids, I believe. So yeah, just amazing stuff. So happy to get that in the shop. So this is a small OGN or comic by Nick Burchard. Very, it was cool. Nick reached out to us about carrying this. This is like a complete story featuring his Darkwing's characters, and published by Tiny Viking, which I believe is Nick's imprint. Signed a couple copies for us. So pretty psyched to have this in the shop. Yeah, just like fun, over the top, like vampire action comics, like, pretty fun and yeah, cool stuff. Even though there's like a little, there's like a little one-shot thing at the end and some like, pinups and process stuff. So pretty attractive, nice book. So thanks again to Nick for reaching out. And this was another person who reached out, Polly Fossey. It's a cool little comic about like labor and just like, just the ethics and the cost of the human cost of sort of like labor and leisure time and yeah, just like a really cool, thoughtful little exploration of that. Very beautifully drawn, beautifully printed. I am a sucker for just like that the pink and blue Rhizo look. So Sheepy on Strike, you can follow them here, Polly Fossey. So yeah, that's all of the small press. Wow, also signed. That should be a requirement. I'm going to make that. Oh, cool. Printed at Rhizolab, sva.edu. That's so cool. But yeah, really beautiful work. Very cool to get that in the store. So yeah, feel free to reach out if you're a creator and you want to have us carry your stuff. All right, awesome. Moving on. All right, for our single issue comic books this week, we have The Return of Red Room by Ed Piskor. As you can tell from the cover, this comic book is extremely violent. So like when we say comics are for everyone, we obviously do not mean every comic is for every person. And so I don't think Ed would mind me saying that these are not for everyone. That being said, it is our best-selling comic book in the store, and it is extremely popular. And for good reason. It's like the level of craft and thought and consideration that is put into this premise and this world is like very impressive. And he's done a really excellent job of making sure that each issue is readable and self-contained on the front cover. It's like that's sort of becoming a lost art with this format, is like making each issue a satisfying read as opposed to like ending on a cliffhanger that just it's eventually going to be collected as a trade or a book. And so I really appreciate that, and there's a lot of things that I really appreciate about this. But I think if you're into gore, if you're into the depravity of like just human suffering or something, then this comic is for you potentially. So, check it out. But again, huge warning for folks who maybe don't want to see some of the most vile shit that they've ever seen. So, kind of sets a new bar in there. So, hard to transition from there. How do I transition to just a regular comic book? This is part of Image's new superhero, like they're trying to build, like doing like a superhero universe, and this has to do with Radiant Black. And so I think they're like trying to focus more on that. So that's pretty cool. That's an issue number 1, worth mentioning. New Punisher comic, very controversial. He becomes like a ninja or something. This is the end of the first run of Orphan and the Five Beasts. Kind of ends abruptly. It's going on hiatus, so it's a little disappointing to see like nothing really. We still got a couple more beasts to go, but he'll come back and knock it out of the park. I'm very confident in that. New Naomi series. So she's probably one of the best things to come out of DC Comics in the last couple of years. So excited for her to get a new series. This has been awesome. This is the 3rd issue of Monkey Meat by Junie Ba. Just a cool anthology series, and yeah, very recommended. You can pick up any of those. I'm sure there'll be a collection soon. We have some of their other comics. Little Monsters, a new series by 2 very esteemed creators. Looking forward to that. If you're into Spider-Gwen, we now got the Gwen-verse, so a bunch of different Spider-Gwens running around. Cool looking new comic, Broken Eye. So excited about that. First appearance of Captain Carter in a comic book. So she was part of the Disney Channel, had like the What If cartoon, and then that happened. First, this is a reprint of a new Black Panther. So this is like a new character in the Black Panther series. So this is the first cover appearance, I believe. But second printing, first appearance in the comic book, second printing, et cetera, et cetera. Cool Women of Marvel collection, showing off some of that stuff. Second printing of Timeless #1. So this is where they bring in Miracle Man into the Marvel universe because they own the rights to him, I guess. This was from last week, but all of our copies got damaged. So again, back to kind of like that Image, building like a superhero universe off of like the Radiant Black character and some other stuff. Got a new Han Solo and Chewbacca kind of thing. We got Spawn. This is a homage, obviously. I don't know how far we're removed. This is McFarlane parody on the cover, so I think he's just having fun. Second printing of a Silver Surfer Rebirth comic that we had a lot more interest in than we thought we were going to. Second printing of Silk #1, second printing of She-Hulk #1. So with these videos, I don't really get to show off the single issues so much. Hard to really get a sense of single issues, as I was talking about earlier with the Red Room comic, where like hard, like they're unfinished a lot of the time and whatever. So I usually just showcase issue #1s or places, comics of note, stuff to jump up on. So folks who want to check out something, like if you normally in issue 3 it'd be like you already know if you're going to get it or not, but yeah, so you can go to our Instagram or our Facebook, and each week on our stories section we will post like everything that we have for sale. So that's a better way, if that's like your main area of interest, that would be the way to go as far as keeping up with what we're getting in each week for the single issue comics. All right, cool. Well, yeah, I'm glad I got to show off a little bit of this. I really like this creator, and I'm very excited that, yeah, it's just a cool, again, like these are very satisfying comics for me to read. So, all right, moving on. All right, for our superhero trade collections and graphic novels, we have this essential Moon Knight collection from Greg Smallwood and Jeff Lemire, plus some other folks. I know that the Moon Knight character is getting a live-action TV show on the Disney Channel, and I've had a lot of customers who are interested in reading more Moon Knight comics, and this is one of the very best runs. So this is the whole 14-issue thing. This was a very clever little bit to get around. So often in like mainstream comics or like with like the crazy deadlines, they'll do a fill-in issue to give the main artist a break. And so they had a couple different artists, in this case, James Stokoe, and some other folks do some stuff. I can't list them all, but And it was just like a really clever way to do the fill-in issue bit. But really, really innovative, cool comics, beautifully drawn. Jeff Lemire, always good. And yeah, so if you're interested in that, that is a great collection to pick up. If you own it in other editions, just buy it again. Do me a solid. So this new Ninjak trade, Ninjak is a superhero or a ninja dude from Valiant Comics. The main attraction for me is the Javier Pulido art. Sadly, on this super glossy paper, and again, I'm worried my camera, which is doing a pretty good job, but just isn't quite picking up the beautiful, beautiful color. So just incredible for me to look at. If you're a fan of maybe Jim Rugg's Octobriana, or I don't even know what the closest, Rich Tommaso's more like mainstream or action stuff, or just sort of like absurdist. I mean, look at that. That's just beautiful. It's so good. Anyway, so this comic, this rules. I think he just does the first 3 issues and then they move on to somebody else to close it out. But really cool looking comics. So I'm kind of a sucker for this, just like using the one color thing. I mean, it's definitely a little overdone, or like the way it's been marketed in the last couple of years. Like, I think it's sort of interesting that has become a thing. But yeah, there's some really cool looking art in here, and I like just the one color. I mean, it just looks good to me. So if you're into the Carnage character or know someone who is, we have a more expensive, like larger edition, but this is a more affordable, cheaper one of a bunch of short stories featuring that character with those art limitations, but some really cool stuff. This is part of the Black Hammer superhero series. I would recommend reading the main series first before you check any of this out. They've done a really good job like fleshing out their superhero universe in a cool, creative way. But yeah, you should start with Black Hammer and decide if you want to read this. But we definitely have a lot of customers who will read anything. Like, they just love that series, and it's certainly very good. Let's do whoa, holy moly, what is that sound? It's the sound of a $100 hardcover hitting a table that was built for me by a friend. I should probably be more careful with the table. This is like the first, oh golly, 138. No, it's the Incredible Hulk 1 through 6, and then Tales to Astonish 59 through 101. So you get a lot of punching in this, guaranteed punching, I would say, in every issue. We're going to punch the Abominable Man. We're going to punch the Toad Man. We're going to punch Giant Man. Why? Hulk, he's your friend, I think. So yeah, pretty cool collection of some old comics. Speaking of a collection of old comics, Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes featuring all 23 in a new epic novel. It's just a reprint of an old comic, collecting all new collector's edition, number C55, with a brand new afterword by Paul Levitz, also drawn by Mike Grell, who's awesome. So pretty cool for folks nostalgic for that kind of thing. And then this one I was debating whether to even bring up, because unfortunately, if you're viewing this, these are all sold out or spoken for. So basically, I think I spoke last week about George Perez's health issues, and so this was sort of an attempt by, I believe, the Diamond distributor, Marvel and DC, to work together to do a fundraiser for a charity that George is involved with. And so all the proceeds went to, I believe it's the Heroes Initiative. And this is a reprint of an old, of a comic from the early 2000s, 2003, it looks like, 2003, 2004. And yeah, it was cool to see it in this nice new remastered edition. Hopefully they'll do another one soon. I think there was a ton of demand for it, and I think it was just like, you know, I think they had to, this was like, they only printed like 7,000 because that was maybe the quickest they could get out, or they, you know, it's unclear. But so these are all sadly spoken for, so I'm sorry to kind of show off something, but I'm sure this will be in print again at some point. I think the fear is just that like getting Marvel and DC, these two companies, to work together or something, but we'll see. I don't know, but if you were, yeah, if you're coming in at any point, you know, we will not have this for sale. We only got a few copies, and folks who had pre-ordered it months in advance, we just did first come first serve and honored you know, we didn't totally know at the very beginning it was going to be so limited. So once we found out, we contacted everyone. But so kind of a bummer, but also cool to see a bunch of money go to the charity of George's choosing. All right, moving on. All right, for kids, middle grade and young adult graphic novels, we've got Glork Patrol Takes a Bath from James Kochalka. James is an amazing creator who has like really done everything. I mean, from, you know, they've done a ton of adult comics, but also for kids comics, probably most well known for his Johnny Boo comic series, and yeah, has done everything. Is just amazing creator, done music and video games, and I believe this comic is actually tied into one of his video games, and you know, you can jump in anywhere with these, and I probably mentioned Dog Man every video for kids stuff, but it is the best-selling comic in the world, I believe, or at least to my knowledge. And so that is the most, like, the number one question is like, kids, they're done with Dog Man, they want to check out something else, and why not this? It's very fun, very funny, and just kind of has that like absurd silliness, and yeah, so pretty cool. I thought this was a really great kids comic. It's about a couple kids who, okay, so maybe I related to this a little too deeply. It's like, you know, it's about a group of kids who love dogs, for various reasons can't have dogs, and so they put together like a dog walking or like a service so they can spend time with dogs. And you know, they learn some lessons along the way about getting into business with your friends, about, you know, relationships, dogs. And it's got a lot of cute drawing and dog stuff, but then also has like a lot of heart and, you know, just, yeah, what a cool comic. And also I want, you know, I'd love to have a little dog, but I can't right now. So I also say that almost every video. So maybe I'll be reading that and reevaluating some life choices. This one is like a part of, you know, Green Arrow is a DC Comics superhero. They've been doing these graphic novels, like sort of like, you know, trying to reimagine their characters for a younger audience. And so this is like a cool, like Survivor type story, beautifully drawn, but like kind of using like the Green Arrow character as a loose framework. So pretty cool. Volume 12 of Space Boy. This one's been a big hit for us. We sell a bunch of these. Yeah, like this might be a web comic also, but just a fun adventure comic, maybe for fans of Bone or Amulet, stuff like that. But pretty cool. Space Boy 12. I would start it at volume 3 if I were you guys. No, I'm just kidding. Start at volume 1. Minecraft. The kids, they love the Minecraft, but they beware. Okay, they love the Minecraft, but they beware the creeper. So I'm vaguely aware of the creeper in Minecraft. This isn't, I don't know if this is really a comic, but you know, maybe you need this. Maybe you have a little buddy who wants to build a little creeper and have it on their desk. But yeah, Minecraft related thing. Sonic the Hedgehog, volume 10 of this ongoing IDW series. Love Sonic the Hedgehog. Love this IDW series. I think you can get any of those. Yeah, wow, that Moon Knight TV show on Disney Channel is really ramping up, so we're going to be getting a lot of Moon Knight related stuff. Marvelverse is Marvel's like line of comics that give an overview of like a bunch of different like eras of a character. So if like a young person is interested in Moon Knight, it'll give you some old stuff, it'll give you some new stuff. kind of all selected to be age appropriate, so age 10 and up. But that might be cool for the young person in your life who watches the Disney Channel. Volume 4 of Kirby. So we didn't get a lot of manga this week, and so it didn't make sense for me to do a little section of manga. So we put this in our kids section anyway because you know, it's perfect. Oops, sorry. I don't know. I apologize, but it was just like my didn't have it framed nicely. But these have been really funny. Oh my God, can they print that? That's insane. These have been very funny, and Kirby is such a great character. There's this apocryphal story I tell all the time where the director of the first game, it was originally created by like HAL, like a company that was like later acquired by Nintendo. And I think the creator, one of the artists, like designed the little sprite for Kirby. It just has like a little circle, this little thing, and was like, you know, we couldn't decide on a final design, so I just turned, you know, here's what we have as a placeholder. And then the director was like, you're a genius. It's wonderful. A little pink circle, love it, ship it. And yeah, it became an iconic character. It has a bunch of really great games. I think there's a new game coming out on the Nintendo Switch. Maybe it's out at the time of this video. But that's all of our kids' comics. And I wonder if that's the end of the video. Why? Let's transition, shall we? All right, so we got these. We're at the end of the video. Thank you very much. Got a couple of trinkets, some deluxe oversized enamel pins. I've had these for a while, but man, I got to just show them off while they're right in front of me. So my friend Jeff made these. So you're like, okay, that's like a super cool design, but then it like is elevated to like a true work of art. I hate you, I really do. So good. We restocked a bunch of merch from Silver Sprocket. So we got some patches and stickers of that one. Michael's sweater. Love that. Please kill my enemies. We've got the two main characters from Your Name, that super popular anime. Really gorgeous anime. So I think I'm going to sell these as a set. I would hate to split those two up after everything they've been through. And then we got this cool plush of Aang. So we got some cool trinkets this week. We've had these for a little while, and they're just starting to move, but these are like really cute little blind boxes. And so I got to do like a blind box video where I open one so people can actually see these things. But little chewy hams. Those are your stats, like whether you can pull one or not. Well, anyway, thanks so much, y'all. Really appreciate it. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Let me know if you have any questions, insights, queries. All right, take care, y'all. Thanks so much. Bye.